they're right up by vanilla level 9, so they'll be able to take care of this pesky little cave that most of us don't check until far later, and it's level 1.
Ooh, we have a shuffled overworld. Now, it doesn't look like we got shapes on, and that almost looks like that would be the eagle. We're gonna wait until Breastickle pops in and out of the dungeon, but I have every reason to believe that this is a non-shaped seed.
That is what it's looking like.
As Drone Nope's out of there, and Breastickle is going to be exploring. Maybe he'll find the room drop.
Or the staircase, you never know. I mean, it's always worth taking a peek, especially since it looks like, at least for the beginning portion, that we do not have a shuffle on the enemy set. So it's just Gorias and, Keystone, that sort of thing in here right now.
Breastickle opting to go for the power bracelet, and we know the power bracelet's been at least shuffled. The Armos has been, at the very least. So, interesting start so far, and I know Breastickle is going to try to make his way over to the Triforce to see if it's in the Triforce room, which has been another thing we've been keeping an eye on. It's in the Triforce room this time.
Yeah, that has been a pretty prevalent thing so far as well, as far as shuffling the drop rooms. And again, this time they're in their normal room.
By the way, rcdrone got an Armos item about the top lake. I didn't get to see what it was, though. Judging by the fact that there's no button B or A, I'm going to guess it probably would be the power bracelet. Oh, we're being told it's a heart. Yes, so power bracelet has been shuffled.
Yeah, the hint in level 1 that Dodongo is on Death Mountain, so we'll see whether or not that actually ends up being true. And the candle shop find for rcdrone with it being 75 rupees, so fairly expensive if there are not free candles in the seed.
And more importantly, the shield in that is over 100 rupees, so that's not the expensive shield shop.
And an arrow bomb and blue ring shop found as well.
So if we are going to see the boomstick, we'll have to wait to see until we see the... Nope, never mind. We found the expensive shield. We are not dealing with a boomstick this seed.
No boomstick and no easy wood sword either, not at the start screen.
I like Drone's play to head towards the start because you never know when that flag comes into play.
Yeah, I agree. That is usually my very first play is I'm going to head to that screen and see whether or not we've got a sword. Because if not, well, obviously we need to be going other places. And if it is, then maybe we can start delving into some dungeons that we find.
Drone's going to be a little careful, down to 1 heart, but I'm certain he'll do the best that he can in this overworld. But it's interesting, we do have a randomized overworld, but it does not look like we have shapes. Triforce is in the Triforce room, at least through 1 dungeon. It's one dungeon's not a good sample size to say whether or not that flag's on or off.
And on Breasticle's side, we do see that 1, any roads are shuffled, and 2, we have got a second quest level 3 screen. So this is second quest or mixed.
Yeah, especially since we have that the recorder warp here.
These indie roads again this time proving to not be that useful, but nonetheless, the hint that it is in fact not first quest overworld is a big indicator that we need to find a recorder soon for these guys.
Yep, and the sooner the better, because obviously there's a whole lot more recorder usage in what is the second quest or the mixed overworld.
And both of our players converging towards the same area. And rcdrone being as careful as he could possibly be trying to get inside of this staircase without dying. And confirming for us that we do have mixed secrets, which means our money-making game, our secret doors, and our pay doors will all be randomized.
If I'm Drone, I'd really love to find a level right now so I can refresh my hearts.
Yeah, taking deaths on the overworld is not fun, especially with that starting location. It's not near anything useful, so getting back over to where he's currently at will take a little bit of time.
It looks like the door repair charge is 18 rupees.
So sub 20, that's pretty nice.
And rcdrone now getting the notification, this is not your first quest overworld.
I'm pretty sure that is that's not a full indicator once we see level 5, but I'm willing to bet that this is a full second quest overworld.
I think Breastickle is going to help us out in just a moment here.
It's a fairy fountain that actually ends up being really nice for him, and it indeed is, making this a full second quest overworld once again.
Oh boy, so once again that heightens the need not only for the recorder as you mentioned, but also the power bracelet.
Yeah, definitely. Seeing as how our any roads are shuffled, that means we have 7 locations on the map that will be hidden behind a power bracelet that could contain something useful.
It does look like overworld enemies are not shuffled. They are where they normally are in the game.
Which is actually kind of nice for these guys. That means exploring the easier parts of the overworld will not be as difficult as if you had Lionels or such on them.
And taking a death.
Very unfortunate, but he did make it a long time on that half heart.
Yeah, if these players are known for something, they can get through a long stretch of time without getting bopped around. These are very good Zelda players, so we're not going to be likely seeing a 2-hour seed from either of these guys. But the second quest overworld does also tell us one other thing. There's only going to be one large secret.
Yeah, so money definitely going to play a factor. Fortunately, arrows are cheap, and neither of these guys will generally buy a blue ring unless it's, tons and tons of money. So I don't know that it'll play a huge factor, but it is a key note to keep in mind.
But seeing the heart container at the Armos tells us that the dungeon items are indeed shuffled. So you find level 1, you aren't going to find the bow under most circumstances.
And BT finally making his way to the start cave and noticing that there's no sword there, which is lucky for him, as RC had been there much earlier. But these guys still trying to figure out where that sword is, and we're running out of places. Basically, down where vanilla level 8 is, and towards the coast is about all that's left.
Also, the southwest corner they haven't checked yet either.
Yeah, all nasty locations to get to, unfortunately. A lot of times you don't want to make your way to that southwest corner unless you've got a candle or some bombs to play with, because you don't want to waste your time. Now, there won't be a bomb wall this time due to it being second quest, but still, it's quite a bit out of the ways just for a singular cave.
And that's true. We haven't even seen any of the take any's, and we don't even know if the extra candles are added just yet either.
That is correct. Breastickle does make his way down to the southwest, so we'll see if the sword is down here or if it is indeed over on the coast.
I'm almost willing to bet it is down here in the southwest corner at this point. No, it isn't.
No! He is getting closer to being able to purchase a candle, which these guys won't hesitate to take a candle from a take any, but again, there's a 50-50 chance that flag isn't available.
Yeah, and like I said, neither of these guys know that at this point, and they would like to have something so can at least try to farm for bombs.
I guess they haven't checked the grave yet either, Rick, so it could be over here in
yes, you're right,
or the push grave, but still running quickly out of options. And only one level located so far as well, so them being quite elusive this time.
Yeah, they are not going to have it easy. You're going to have to need items to get into dungeons by the looks of things.
Yeah, if in fact there is there are no extra candles. I mean, you got to find one of those caves first to begin with, right? But if there are no extra candles, then you got to fork up the 75 rupees, which you got to find in order to buy one. And who knows how many dungeons are hidden underneath there.
Hey! We found it!
There! And it turns out we do have extra candles and a wood sword get for Breastickle at level 6.
Nasty location to get to, too. Heavily guarded from Lionels. Now the question is, how's the HP today?
That is a good question. And you know what, I'll tell you, I'm going to take level 6 one of my top priorities from now on, because for the majority of these seeds, it's either been a dungeon or the wood sword.
Korea's down in one hit. He's down one hit as well, and the next question comes up to be is...
No, not 0 HP!
We just got lucky with the Grias. And rcdrone heading up to level 6. He'll be greeted with the sword really soon.
Ooh.
Ew, super
4
gels.
HP gels, never fun.
And rcdrone saving, and he's going to head on over to level 1 as well.
Yeah, sword for both these guys, and wisely going to level 1. There's no reason not to. It's 2 items, and it's an easy dungeon enemy set. So wise choice on both of their ends, and you can pick up some early keys, which has been proven in the last few races to be a pretty big deal.
Drone opting to kill, and find out it's not the room he wants.
Oh yeah, it seems that we have got. It looks like definitely not randomized dungeon rooms, and they may in fact actually. The enemies are shuffled though, because we don't have Guria in this room that RC is in right now.
Ladder get.
Yes, ladder over on Breasticle's side, quite the find, and RC should find that pretty soon too, which is one of those items that you definitely want to get your hands on early.
The sooner you get your hands on ladder, the better your life is.
Especially, like, we talk about how shapes can have ladder blocks, right? If you've got randomized rooms, but even worse is vanilla dungeons without randomized rooms, because level 4, and level 6, and level 5 have this really bad tendency to end up with a ladder block.
Well, especially level 4 because of how linear the beginning of the dungeon is. It's easy to come across one of those river rooms. So we don't know whether or not the dungeons, the hints are lies or not at this point.
Yeah, the question is, actually, you know what? Looking at this and seeing
Wand!
The wand, but the Guria were in that room, and the Wall Masters were in their normal room. It looks like we may not have enemies shuffled between rooms in the dungeons.
That's correct. So this room here, the Breasticle's in, is going to be for a key. Or not.
Or a bomb. Interesting.
Extremely interesting. Film at 11.
Yeah, maybe we're just getting lucky with the room layouts, because there are no bomb drops in vanilla level 1.
That's correct. I like the fact that BT is just trying to sneak himself around those Lionels. Surprised he didn't try to bomb Oh, that's right, Spectacle Rock isn't a thing in the second quest. That's right, I'm corrected.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. They just found a bomb. They're 32 rupees, but finding a bomb shop near the start screen is always nice. But it looks like BT is going to play the gamble and see whether or not we do indeed find level 2 on Death Mountain. Now, the interesting thing to think about is that I'm pretty sure that even if it's not level 2, there should be a dungeon on Death Mountain. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I would almost assume that would be the case. It's definitely worth the idea here of going to find out, because first of all, you want to find out whether or not the lies are being told or what the case might be. Hint shop that is too expensive.
Yeah, those are crazy expensive hints. I don't generally buy them unless they're under 20 rupees, especially in a second quest seed like this.
Yeah, money's going to be extremely tight this seed for both of these guys.
RC still making his way through level 1. Has not yet found the ladder, but
Yep,
should find it in the room up here.
Yep, I was about to say he's 2 rooms away from it.
It looks like he opted to pick up that Triforce and found the wand and then went back in. And
We find level 9.
Greatly rewarded with that ladder.
So Breastickle finding level 9 up in the Death Mountain.
Okay, so we'll see if he continues, and he will, to see if maybe level 2 is up here, and if only level 9 is up here, then perhaps we do have deceptive hints.
The thing is that we won't know for certain if the old man is lying to us just yet, because there will be one spot here in Death Mountain, actually 2 that they can't check right now.
Is it 3, or does the arrow count as Lost Hills?
Well, I was thinking the 2 power bracelet slots here would be the
But
2
you've also
slots.
got the You've also got the recorder spot up by vanilla level 9.
Well, we find level 2 anyways.
Indeed. So, truthful hint, we may not know yet, actually.
Oh, that's right. I know what one you're talking about. The recorder that you have the 2 that normally has the heart container in the second quest. I know which one you're talking about. So that would be kit 3, yes.
And a Bokit for Breastickle in level 2.
Very nice find.
And this will want you to pay dividends for both of these guys with it being shuffled HP.
Ooh, we find a take any.
And opts for a heart. Has he bought a candle?
Not yet.
Interesting. So it looks like he might be playing the gamble for the white sword item, and the power bracelet is on the coast.
Yep. The thing is that at this point we don't know if the white sword has been shuffled. It could still very well be in a cave here in Hyrule.
And that might be his play. You know, he's got a power bracelet now, which opens up 7 extra spots. And seeing as how the HP is shuffled, the white sword is actually a very valuable item.
And now with 2 Triforces and Triforces rooms, we can almost conclude that the Triforces will be in such this seed.
Well, yeah, which makes some of these later dungeons like 7 and 8 a lot easier to deal with because you know what you're looking for and you're not clearing rooms.
I like the fact that both of them have the same amount of rupees at this moment.
That is pretty interesting, yes. You are correct.
And double fairies, but he doesn't need them.
And a take it for BT.
And he takes the candle. Interesting decision.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting to see these guys deviate and make different selections from each other. Generally, most people will take the candle just because, you know, trying to buy one at 75 rupees is, first of all, pretty expensive, and you never know when you might run into another take any.
And rcdrone finding the letter. It is power bracelet blocked like it was in the normal game, but this time it's close to starting. We find level 6. Ew, small secret. 1 rupee small secret. Wow.
Yeah, so quite the poverty seed, unfortunately. Which means that if arrows are, arrows are only 69 rupees, so they're not terrible. But if you buy an arrows and you buy a candle, you're probably not finding any bomb upgrades or anything like that later on in the seed.
Hi, Dig Dugger. Unfortunately, Joan has no way to beat you.
Yeah, and that should actually be the heart room.
Well, that diamond staircase tells us that rooms are shuffled.
Yeah, you are correct, actually.
That spiral staircase tells us the rooms are shuffled.
So we do have randomized dungeon rooms, but my question then comes to, again, back to the logic of the randomizer, right? We've got randomized dungeon rooms, but drops are not shuffled out of their normal rooms.
That's what it looks like, because it looks like level 8's spiral staircase room.
So it seems to me that any item that drops, i.e. the Triforce and room drops for items are actually going to be in their original rooms. I'm pretty sure that any heart container we see will be in their normal boss room. So it seems like that if those 2 flags are in unison, that we do not shuffle all of the rooms randomly and the original rooms stay the way that they normally are.
Yeah, that's what it looks like right at this moment. This is a really nasty room, and I'm not keeping track of how many hit points these wizrobes take, but yuck, this is a nasty kind of a deadlock room here in level 6.
Yeah, never fun to get a shutter room with a bubble and wizrobes.
This is a combat heavy room.
Unfortunately taking a death. I wonder if he'll run up the spine and skip the stairs, or what his choice will be here.
54 is the top secret. This is now going to be a poverty seed.
Wow.
And that's the only top secret, too.
Yeah, so RC not picking up that candle could end up being a problem.
That's correct, and opting to spend a key to go up. Hopefully, trying to find with the other staircase with the item in it.
Yeah, gonna up A and probably either take the stairs or just head on out for now.
He's piecing out.
I can't say that I disagree with that. That is a rough place to be. Seems like enemies are not shuffled out of their normal dungeons, so we'll see Wizrobes in level 4 also. I don't believe orange Wizrobes were super high on the HP, but the blues seem to be around their normal value at the very least.
They all seemed really awful. And right now, these guys are underprepared for that such dungeon. I know they probably could pull it off if they keep at it, but
yeah, I mean,
it's
it's a good point. It's a good point that you're making up there, right? That we've got two extremely experienced randomizer players who are extremely good at combat, and they're still piecing out on that dungeon. I mean, they could do it, but it's a matter of doing it quickly, and right now that's just not an option.
Also a matter of knowing when to say when, which is pretty much what the rcdrone just did with that dungeon.
And buying bombs, man.
Yeah, that's an interesting purchase at this point in time. Oh, we find the magical sword.
I mean, RC obviously doesn't know what we know, that this is extremely poverty-stricken. He does know that there are extra candles, and if he keeps going on Death Mountain, he will run into another Take Any Cave. And I'm fairly positive at that point he will probably take the candle. But it's still just rough knowing what we know, that he's down to 37 rupees, a candle's 75, small secrets are 1, the one large secret's 54. That's rough.
Yep, and the medium secret's 29, so you can't really make up those rupees anywhere. It's like the bot generated knowing it's these two that are racing. They generated the seed just for these two.
And RC fishing for a bomb, and hopefully he'll get one. Otherwise, he's only going to end up finding level 9 up here on Death Mountain.
I'm wondering how many times he has to hit those Lionels. Oh, he tried to set up a 10, but he couldn't get it.
Yeah, unfortunately miscounted, I believe.
Yeah.
Or he should have known that it wasn't. He just got a 5 rupee.
He got a lucky drop.
Yeah, he does get that, which will be enough to get him to level 2. However, if he bombs everything on Death Mountain, he will not find that extra Take Any.
It depends on what he does in level 2, too.
And he does it with a power bracelet and checks this spot, and it turns out to be a medicine man.
Right now, I like the play here to check the spots on the river for Breastickle.
Yeah, I agree too. If you've got that early ladder, it's worth checking those spots. And RC does get that bomb drop, so he will find that extra Take Any and should be able to get himself a candle to move along with this exploration of this seed here.
Well, those 1 rupee secrets are a secret to everybody. That's why it's a secret to everybody. And it looks like the robes are 3 or 4 HP, so that's a rough point as well.
Yeah, definitely not. HP doesn't seem to be too far out of whack yet, and RC picking up the bow as well. One more thing to tick off his list of items that are in the back of your mind. Obviously, you want to find a recorder, but finding bow is one of those items that may or may not be required with the Seed's flag set, but getting it off your list is always nice.
Given the way that this seed has treated these guys so far, you want to have that bow, especially when you get to the point where you find levels 3, 5, and 8, where Pole's voices could be in there.
Yeah, indeed. Or, you never know where there might be a Goma block.
And those will be so much fun. And we see a meat purchase here from Breastickle on a poverty seed.
The expensive meat, because we know the cheap meat was 50 rupees. He dropped 106. Wow.
Wow. Well, that's really expensive meat, so
Putz would be proud.
Absolutely. And
so rcdrone picking up Triforce 2, so we're tied on Triforces, and for the most part, tied on exploration.
So drone going back in, and Breastickle finding level 6. That's the dungeon that drone noped out of earlier.
I'm kind of confused why he's going back in, unless
Could
he's
he be trying to get the
hunting for hint.
Or maybe
He's
that.
looking for the hint.
Manhandle a threat.
Yeah.
Yes. Good move by drone, and we'll see whether or not we're talking the truth, because we've only seen the hint for level 2 at this point. So we don't know if we have lies being told.
Yeah, but I would say awesome call on his part, because if you could just chain those hints, then you can make quick work out of these seeds.
So near the desert makes me wonder if the recorder is required to get into 3, if it is indeed the truth and drone picks up a candle.
Yeah, smart play on his part, as there is one spot in the desert that is burnable, which is the one east of the desert shop, and then you can also check the power bracelet spot by the fairy fountain. Outside of that, it would be recorder blocked.
Yep, unfortunately, the one that's east of the desert shop turned out to be one of the any roads.
Yeah, okay, so there's only one location left, which, it's kind of an interesting statistic that I'm not tracking that one in particular, but in the mixed and second quest overworld seeds, there's been a very low amount of dungeons underneath the recorder spots.
What a clock for BT.
Nice, and we'll see what happens when we get through this room that RC unfortunately took a death in. The slow wood sword clear. Oh.
And Double A, by the way, did note it correctly that it was 23 rupees, the door repair charge.
Indeed, and yeah, Ampharos, I agree. I thought he was maybe considering, well, let me find a secret and I'll buy a secret, or buy the candle instead of picking it up off the take any.
So there's only limited spots where level 3 can be right now, and oh, he's going for the power bracelet slot, which is still considered by a desert.
Yeah, also of note is that there are only 2 whistle locations left, because one of the any roads also was in the desert. So it looks like recorder will be required for this seed, as level 3 is under one of those 2 remaining desert locations.
Ooh, the Triforce was just one room north of where Drone died.
Yeah, can I get some not like this is in the chat, because that is super unfortunate for RC.
Absolutely. So we can pretty much confirm at this point in time that Triforces will be in their original rooms.
Yeah, definitely. Again, which is awesome for these guys, because it makes it super easy to find the Triforces. You don't have to kill rooms.
But here's the thing: Breastickle opted not to grab the item in level 6. So could that come back to haunt him? What if that's the recorder?
It could be. That is very true. Also, I would definitely not be checking that dungeon for an item yet, though.
Oh, the recorder is the white sword item.
Oh my goodness, what a find for RC Drone, and he has 6 hearts guaranteed to pick it up no matter what.
He finds it over at the second quest level 7 location. What a find there for RC Drone. Sometimes good players get lucky. Now he's going to whistle the 2 remaining spots here in the desert, trying to find where level 3 is.
Yeah, and this will give him quite the leg up on BT at this point in the seed, just knowing where level 3 is. And depending what's in here, right? There could be a super important item in here, and not having the recorder or knowing where level 3 is could play a big part. I do think that BT will find the recorder here very quickly, as he's in the same area as RC Drone was.
Now he's got 5 hearts, and we don't know whether or not the sword hearts have been shuffled. So we might find out if he can't pick this up. And quick Triforce in the second room in level 3.
Will he go back in?
3 is small enough, and it's going to be a Dark Nut set, so he's opting not to. Interesting decision.
Very interesting decision. I guess what I'm thinking here is he's gambling on Silver Arrows being in 9, and he is in Triforce and Go mode at this point. Since he has a bow, recorder, and ladder, and power bracelet, the chances of a raft spot being required are super low, and he figures that he's got everything he needs to get this seed beat.
And he's probably also trying to make up time because of the deaths he took, especially in level 6.
So this is definitely quite interesting.
I mean, this is one of those matches. If Jerome was playing against somebody who was an unknown in Randomizer, maybe he would go back into 3, but because he knows he's playing against a good player like Breastickle, maybe he's playing to the situation.
I can't say that I blame him.
Absolutely, as Breastickle now will be guaranteed this recorder when he gets to it in just a moment.
Unfortunately, we'll not see whether or not short hearts were shuffled, but it is good for BT that he is guaranteed to have this item because, as we know, it's required.
And there it is. Where's the white sword at? Well, we don't know.
That's a great question.
But there's the recorder.
Those 1 rupee secrets. Oh, it's just insulting.
All that time. And remember back when this was actually slow text?
Oh yeah, much worse. You get them long community hints or whatever, and you get 1 rupee, and you're just kind of like, man, I can up A and still save time.
Tiny's not the word for it. It's horrendous. It's awful. It's 1:29:54, and level 5 found for Breastickle.
Yeah, awesome. I'm not sure where that was. I missed it, but yeah, he has found level 5.
I think it was near where level east of level 8. I'm thinking.
Yeah, the whistle location. So 2 dungeons under recorder spots. This has been kind of the trend, right? So we've had a ton of second quest, next quest overworlds where there have been no dungeons under recorder spots, and then we had one a few matches ago where there were 4 out of the 9 dungeons that required the recorder to get into.
Like I said, this seed was being dealt by some bot that knew it was these 2 that were playing it. And by the way, rcdrone finds level 5 as well. And there's a truthful hint about Akumensis in the ladder. So I'm to believe we got helpful hints turned on.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got shuffled dungeon text as well.
That's correct, because
sure.
you wouldn't... Well, maybe, because you might find level 1's hint in level 5 every now and then. But we did find the bomb upgrade in level 5 for 117 rupees. And the boomerang and Breastickle is picking it up.
I can't say that I fault him. I mean, he doesn't have anything to pick things up at ranged, and if any indicator, I mean, it's not a 0 HP seed, but, you know, being able to pick things up at ranged can be useful.
Jones says nope to that boomerang. Breasticle's in the one room to the right of Start where dark nuts aren't your friend.
No, these are not fine. Ooh, no! Unfortunate that he got trapped inside the corridor to the stairs there.
Depends on what he finds on the other side. Maybe he might find the Triforce room. Maybe he'll find a Dodongo with a heart container.
That's nice. More hearts is never a bad thing.
Meanwhile, maybe Drone will find the... Yep, maybe Drone will find the Triforce. And I believe Drone ended up going south, whereas BT went north, so there's a big difference in routing. And, ooh, bunnied.
Maybe that is a fortunate death.
Absolutely. So you can go back to Start, maybe go the other way and find the good old trip out to... over towards the south side. And now we do know, by the way, the mechanic about the recorder. You are whistling to the new dungeon locations.
And we also just saw that it looks like bomb men are not shuffled, but the value of the bombs that you receive and how much they cost are indeed shuffled.
Yeah, for 117 on a poverty seed, you probably could get anywhere between 2 and 6. And if somebody does decide that they want to spend the money on it, I'm going to probably guess it's going to be 2. Just the way the seed's been playing out. And Breastickle finding the Triforce room.
Yeah, good for him. So again, that death, I would say actually probably saved him time. But to respond to LOZ Cards fan, might be 2 bombs, but I don't know that either of these players are going to ever have enough money to purchase a bomb upgrade.
Yep, and Drone finding the other hint shop right near Start, and he opts not to purchase them, well, because, well, it's a tight seed for the one.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know if you still need arrows. I might have bought the cheap one, just because at this point, outside of arrows, I'm not going to buy anything, probably. But again, the reinforcement of this is a poverty seed, so every rupee counts.
And right now, Breastickle checking level 2 with the swag screen blog clip, or whatever you want to call that, and he grabs the heart container on the take any.
The HUD clip.
Oh, Breastickle, you smart person, you.
Whistling to one and probably not going where he wanted to go.
Yeah, he probably was hoping he was going anywhere but that screen.
Professor Chuckles, the secrets are 1 rupee, 29 rupees, and the singular large secret is 54 rupees, meaning that there is not much money available in this seed.
Actually, I think he actually may have wanted to go to the level 1. He was able to check the recorder spot, and now he's going to be able to check the power bracelet slot.
That's an interesting call. I guess if you want to keep your hearts, it makes sense, right? But I would probably just would have up 8 since the start screen is right there.
And this power bracelet slot, not good, and it looks like the money-making game is not shuffled as far as the prize payouts are.
Which is interesting. I thought that was attached to the secrets.
And he goes back to level 1 for some reason. Sees that he's in the middle of the firing range, says no. So he goes to another firing range. This is because he wants to check this power bracelet slot.
Yeah, never a bad thing to check these while they're in the back of your mind. It is possible to forget them, and that can cost you a lot of time.
They are loose squares, so might as well plug them in. And 3 recorder dungeons, level 8.
Wow.
Just west of the Lost
And
Woods.
in a really weird spot. This is the first time this location's actually been of any use, I believe. And wow, 3 recorder dungeons. So basically, it seems like it's feast or famine.
And we haven't found all the dungeons just yet.
Yeah, I mean, what are the bets on there being at the level 6 grave spot?
We still have level 4 to find, and have we found 7? No, we haven't found 7 yet either.
No, we have not. Yeah, that's correct.
Could we have 5 recorder spots, please?
That would be intense. I believe it is still possible. There is the recorder spot by start and the recorder spot at the grave still left. This should be a heart container, yeah.
There's also the recorder spot in the Lost Woods, too. Or the Dead Woods.
I believe Drone checked it on his way over here to level 8.
Oh, okay. In that case, well, still interesting decisions here. I mean, just interesting the fact that the recorder has such a high value in this seed.
Yeah, because I mean, there's what 11 recorder spots in Second Quest, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but either way, like 3 locations is so extremely unlikely. And again, luckily, it was the white sword item, and both of these guys found it within seconds of each other, so it didn't play a huge factor. But you know, not finding that recorder can cost you the race by itself if it takes you too long to find it with the way the dungeons are.
Ooh, bosses are 0 HP.
And quick Triforce for Drone, and he is just going, not worrying about items. And I can't say that I disagree with him. With the prevalence of silver arrows in 9, and not knowing if you even need them, it looks like he's just making the play to get there and find out.
And Breastickle is in level 3, actually searching. Oh, don't give up yet. At the grave.
Ooh, okay, but not under the whistle spot.
And not here either.
So it'd either be the power bracelet location or the bomb spot.
Yeah, because there's no other recorder spots here where level 4 can be in the grave.
And they've all checked level 6. So it'd be interesting to see if it is the power bracelet spot, and that is also required, which was
the power
on the
bracelet
coast.
spot.
So, I mean, while the seed's been a little bit bad, it's given you both the recorder and the power bracelet for pretty much free.
Pretty much we can confirm that these are helpful hints in this seed because we have yet to see one that's lied to us. So Drone now making his way into level 4. So this is a power bracelet and recorder seed, and level 7's room in level 3.
Yeah, we'll see if this pays off for Breastickle here, searching out level 3 for the item.
He's pretty much almost full clearing it here to get to it. He's going to up and A.
And go back in.
Is he going to go just for the Triforce now and just cut his losses? No, he's going to continue to go for it.
Yeah, so interesting deviation of play here on where you want to gamble.
Well, if this turns out to be the silver arrows and Ganon's required, this is the advantage that Breastickle will have. But if this is a case where Ganon is not required, this is just Drone opening up a gap.
Yeah, a large gap, because he pieced out of 8 too. I mean, it's been quite interesting how quickly he's just been leaving the dungeons, and if BT takes the time to search level 8, then the gap is going to get quite large.
And the only way that we know whether or not that flag is turned on or off, with the red ring or silver arrows being in 9 or not, is if we find the silver arrows, or if we find the red ring in one of these dungeons.
And BT finds a bloomerang for his troubles, unfortunately.
That is a huge time sink for 0 reward. He's just going to get this Triforce of Shame at this point.
Yeah, again, the only thing that could possibly play, the villain here is key counts are pretty low, and we know RC still has to go through 7, which can hog keys pretty heavily depending on how the doors lay out, and level 9, which can be horrible for your key count. So we'll see how that plays out.
That's correct, and we didn't see any hints for level 7 because Breastickle just stopped out of 6. He said enough of that because it was a Wizrobe dungeon. And ladder clipping here for RC Drone. Nice maneuver here so he can get into the Triforce room and collect this Triforce and get on out of level 4.
Indeed, and I wonder, he didn't find the item in here either, did he?
I don't think he found the item. It might have been in that one loose room he didn't even get into.
Yeah, so definitely in go mode, and once he gets into level 6, the only place he has to go is to that Triforce room. So I don't think he's going to hunt 6 for a hint. You never know, but he still does need to track down level 7. In the meantime, BT has made his way to level 4 as well, and will probably look for the item.
I would assume that if Drone gets into level 6 real soon, he is going to probably go a few extra rooms if he can. I mean, if the Wizrobes aren't having him for lunch, and he's going to try to hunt down the hint for level 7 for what is apparently a helpful hint seed.
I mean, what does he have left to really check, though? He's pretty much full clear Death Mountain. He's got a couple of recorder spots, and that's about it. I mean, they've pretty much checked everything else already. Maybe burn the Dead Woods?
That they can get to, because there's still a possibility that it could be raft blocked.
Which would be fun for us, but definitely not for them, because they've got to track down where that raft is hiding.
And the amount of spots that are still remaining on Drone's to-watch list is just getting smaller and smaller.
How did RC miss that? That's straight up the neck.
Wow. Because there was that one loose square that he didn't check. Now, I'm looking at his map right now, and you guys can't see it. He's got one square where it's not the raft, and this is the screen right here.
And I'm pretty sure we knew that wasn't it.
It's not it. We have a raft blockage too. So to recap,
my goodness.
We have a raft block, we have a power bracelet blocked, and we have a recorder blocked seed.
So here's the question. Looks like 3 is going to be his first. No, he's not going to 3.
He has said no to level 3. With 185 rupees, it might be a smart time to go and buy some hints.
He's taking the any road. I'm really curious where he's going to choose to go. It looks like level 8? He may not have burned everything in the Dead Woods yet, but I could be incorrect. Never mind, I don't know what he's doing.
Well, he's buying the arrows, so he's getting that potential block taken care of at this point. Like I
And
said,
level
if
4
I
Triforce for Breastickle now. So outside of getting the one in level 8, BT is not very far behind.
oh yeah, drone is going to level 6. This might be a wise play. He's gonna have to watch his health though, and he would love a hint right now that tells him where level 7 is. If it says by the coast, well, raft required. If it's by a lake, raft required. That would never know.
Yeah. Unfortunately, either way, it's the same answer. I mean, you could save a little bit of time, I suppose, by knowing which one. It'll be curious to see whether or not he digs the item in here or not, knowing that he needs a raft. This, again, would not be my first choice, but you're already here, so maybe he will.
And Breastickle going into level 8.
And he does not, I believe, know that a raft is required, because I don't believe he's checked all the recorder spots. And a nice clock for rcdrone, as well as getting a ton of bomb drops and a key, so not necessarily a bad room for him. It does look like he has access to a different part of the dungeon, so it looks like he is, while looking for the Triforce, he's in the wrong area, but he should run into the item room eventually.
And this here is the potential of being the item. But also could it be one of the staircases in level 8?
Indeed, an RC down to half a heart and has a magical breakfast room for a staircase and takes a beam. That's a
raft!
Raft and
And
8! Oh no! Well, with that, we know for a fact that RC is hunting an item that he does not need. The question is, will he take time to go back and look for it, or will he run into that Triforce room?
Well, Breastickle looks like he's hunting down a second item here in level 8.
Again, he doesn't know that the raft's required, and you still don't know yet if silvers are locked to 9.
Yeah, because we haven't seen all the items yet, and we still have a few possibilities what could be in, like, for instance, level 7 or level 6 or the second item in level 8.
I mean, I feel like his biggest advantage right now is that any key at a level 4. Like, that is a big deal.
And it's the red candle in level 6.
That is unfortunate. So it's looking like silvers and red ring are again in level 9. And RC also hunting the complete wrong area of this dungeon, needing to get to that one room that I'm sure he's avoiding right now because it's a shutter door with whiz robes.
Yeah, but what we know from Breastickle, because he got a clock for it, it is the room he needs to be in. So step over the water to reach the power bracelet.
Okay.
Well, we knew what the power bracelet was. Drone's back in 4. There's that one loose room he hadn't checked.
Yeah, interesting call here to not even find the Triforce.
Well, he knows with the red candle on there that he still does need an item somewhere.
Yeah, indeed, but like he didn't get the Triforce. Did he not realize he doesn't have the Triforce yet?
I'm thinking after getting a bunch of beams to the face, he probably wants to find where this raft is, get the heart refilled, and go back into 6 with full life. That's my thought, maybe.
Chief Safety may not be happy with any key, but at 4 keys and you've still got level 7 and level 9, it's not a terrible find.
White sword and level 8.
Which I believe... we have to know what level 7's item is, but is pretty much confirmed that silvers are in 9.
And the item in level 7, then, in that case, would be the book.
Yeah, BT is definitely in a good spot right now. Does need to find level 7. and unfortunately, he does not know for certain that it is on the raft spot. Now, he doesn't have a whole lot of locations left to check on the overworld, but he does, in fact, have other places to look, so he won't get there right away, I would imagine.
Well, right now Breastickle has the lead. He's got 7 of the 8 Triforces. And if I'm him, after I finish up here with the Dead Woods, I'm checking the first raft spot that's on the lake.
And RC still opting to not go to level 3.
Which is a very interesting decision for him, but...
Yeah, I mean, it turns out to be the correct decision, but he doesn't know that, and level 3 is generally one of the easier items to get your hands on. I mean, is RC going back to 6 now? I don't quite know what he's doing, I guess. It looks like he's going back to 6.
Oh, he's buying some hints. Play a melody to obtain the boomerang. That's not much of a help. Gorilla grumbles with a book, so that confirms it. Silver arrows and red ring in 9.
Indeed.
And sail over the water to get the book.
Wow.
So there's his confirmation.
Yeah, but unfortunately not what he's looking for. He already knew that 7 was on there. Yeah, so BT really in the lead now, as RC's got to dig either 3 or 8. Or possibly, or 3 or 8, because he already knows it's not 6, but he still has to get the Triforce in 6 as well.
Yep. What what Drone would really have loved right there is one of those things to say, Gliok returns with the raft. But he's back in 8 now.
Yeah, again, a very interesting, I mean, I understand there's 2 items in 8, but I still find it that it's very interesting that he has opted to completely forego level 3's item and make his way into level 8. And I don't remember seeing any hint of what was in level 3. So, I mean, it's a good play on his part, but he won't know that.
And level 7, by the way, is the location of the other bomb increase.
Yeah, so it looks like those gentlemen were not shuffled. And unfortunately, that's a terrible offer, as we don't have any money.
And why didn't we have any money? Because the secrets were so cheap today.
And raft get for RC, so he is breathing a sigh of relief right now and will be able to get himself into level 7 as well. So it will probably come down to routing in level 7 on who makes its way to 9 first. But also have to remember, RC still has to get the Triforce in 6.
That's correct, and we don't know if the hunt for silvers is going to need to be needed in level 9. And oh, wow, nice find there for BT.
Wow. So has all 8, and on top of that also has a white sword, which, as we know, plays a difference in this seed.
That's why sometimes it's tough to be on the go mode when you don't know if you've need to have. I mean, it's just tough to be on go mode when you don't know where all the dungeons are yet.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't fault RC because I probably would have done the same thing. I mean, the odds of that last dungeon being on a raft spot is so low that digging dungeons for 15 minutes is generally not what you want to do.
Oh, I agree. I definitely agree with you on that one. And as he goes into the wrong raft spot, we find a door repair charge. So now he knows which raft island it's going to be.
And BT making his way into 9.
And tell us whether or not, chat, you believe the Ganon fight will be forced or unforced this seed.
Getting level 5's room here, the first one up in 9. Oh my goodness!
And Ganon in room number 2.
Will he take a swing at him?
He should. And he's locked in. And we're not going to see whether or not Ganon's required. Or Ganon's at 0 HP, rather. So how often has Ganon been forced to these seeds?
Ganon has actually been forced 7 out of 12 times, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, 7 out of 12 times Ganon has been forced. I haven't had a chance to look at the previous race with Darkwing Duck in Rob Draven, but it is, so far, I mean, if you take into account variation and the small sample size, it's pretty much even. And honestly, in my opinion, if Ganon's that close to start, I bet you he's not required, and it's going to be the great hunt for Zelda.
Well, if it's a
Find
great
the
hunt for,
doors!
if it's a great hunt for Ganon, or a great hunt for Zelda with the forced Ganon, Breastickle now has the arsenal to do it with the Silver Arrow get-up.
Holy cow! Still going to search it out over here before he dies. I don't disagree with that at all, because you never know what you might run into. And
Yeah, he
face
runs
plants
into a
into a
Patra.
Patra.
He runs into a Patra. That's what he'll run into.
No, I would not. I would absolutely run my life out like he did and check over there, because it's a ways out of the way, so you might as well just search. You never know.
Well, he's going to do it. Breasticle's going to face off against Ganon. Now, remember, he's got green tunic. And Ganon is...
What? 0 HP!
0 HP. Now, where is the girl?
Well, Ganon being in his own room is a pretty big indicator that you need to find a room that you enter in from the south.
Yep. Because you can't get there from any other direction. She'll be in her own room.
I mean, there has been the off occasion that Ganon was in his room and Zelda was not, but it is extremely rare for that to happen.
And this is just nothing more than a minefield right now for Breastickle, just trying to get through with a half a heart. Drone's time is pretty much running out. It just all depends on when Breastickle can find the girl or not.
Yeah, still looking for that Triforce, which we know is up in the northern part of the dungeon, and he's still got to make his way back into 6 and does not know where that Triforce is.
Yep, we know it's only that one room to the north of the room he died, but because it's such small odds, he's not going to get there anytime soon.
A nice reverse clip by BT in that Wizrobe room. Unfortunately, pops right out into a Patra, but doing his damnedest with just half a heart.
Yep. And this is where having any percent really helps you. You know how to deal with situations like this.
Absolutely. All these hits to take out the orbits, and then one hit to take out the Patra.
I love that. And he sees those blue Wizrobes coming after him, and he says, "No, I don't want that."
So, I mean, here's the difficult decision for you, right? You still don't know if Ganon was really required. In your mind, do you start checking only doors that go up whether or not they are shutters?
Well, after seeing him in his own room, I would start to think that perhaps that one flag is turned on, and therefore I should be trying to check every single north room that I could possibly get to.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he's super low on bombs, so bombing up in every room is not something that's really on the cards for him. But, you know, I would tend to think that if I were in this seat, I would be doing that if I had the resources, because you may not need Ganon, and the only way to get in her room would be from the bottom if that flag with Ganon and Zelda being in their normal rooms tends to be true.
I mean, you're correct in the thought process of that being the case. There's a small chance, although be it still a non-zero chance, that we could find her in a different room.
Yeah, BT taking low percent to a whole new level with how long he's gone with just half a heart. Basically one hit KO.
Oh,
Gets that hint with northeast of Skull for the kidnapped.
now if I'm Breastickle, let's just go ahead and kill this right now. Get myself back to 3 hints. Rather 3 hearts. You've only got 1 bomb, but you know, somewhere you've got to make it to that northeast corner.
I'm kind of confused right now what RC's doing. Looks
Buying
like he's buying a potion.
Good move.
Not a bad move at all, considering the level 6 that he's got to go through with a wooden sword. Let's just hope that he picks the correct room to go into. Again, we know that it's that shutter room that he died in earlier, and almost it cleared. Just imagine if he hadn't died in that room, where this race would be right now.
And we know Breastickle now making his way, trying to find a way over to the northeast corner without having to spend that one last bomb he's got, because farming for bombs is really, really difficult in this dungeon at this point.
Yeah, indeed, and bombs could be a factor. Again, if Zelda is in her room, but it's not a shutter door and a bomb wall, I mean,
I'm not sure what Breastickle is going to be thinking here. At some point, he may just have to take a gamble, but he gets beamed.
finally dies, though. I mean, like...
Drone gets to the room.
Oh, and it doesn't require that other one. Wow, using the key to get into the Triforce room.
Now,
boy, this could be big. If Ganon is not required and RC finds the right way.
yes, you're correct. And with 6 bombs, this could make it very, very interesting. And knowing that level 2 is right near where level 9 is, he's just going to whistle over to 2, head on over to 9, or he'll hit the wrong whistle and get himself out of the Hyrulean Fire Exchange.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing to note, while he doesn't have a white sword, it doesn't matter as far as Ganon goes. And on top of that, he's got a potion. And BT is, unfortunately, while he had his long stint with his half heart, has now died, I believe, again once, and is struggling just a little bit to get through these rooms.
Yeah, this is a really rough stretch here for Breastickle. And right now, Drone, the faster he gets to 9, and I almost think he's going to have to play this like Ganon is not required. Because otherwise, he's going to run out of time.
And BT with a decision to make here.
Oh
Do
my
I use
God.
my last bomb?
Yes. This is a horrid decision. But he chooses the right... Oh, he gets a bomb drop!
He forces a bomb drop!
That is huge right there. And we would say the odds of that being a truthful hint is about 99.9%, because every other hint in this game so far has been truthful.
Indeed, but like, I can't get over that he forced a bomb off of a segment of the land mola while opening the wall at the same time.
I know!
And then finishing off the land mola. Like, that is the pristine level of play that we're dealing here with both of these players.
Clutch. That is clutch. And Drone is playing this as if Ganon is not required. That's what he needs to do to have a chance here.
And I can't say that I blame him, right? He still doesn't know whether or not you need Ganon. He's only got a wood sword, and trying to clear out these staircases is horrible with the wood sword. And BT,
another death.
Dies again in that same room. That is a really bad room to try to navigate.
So a big determining factor here is how many times Breastickle dies. Again, if this Ganon is not required and Drone just steps up and finds it immediately, game over. And
yeah, this is the kind of race that you want to see.
Yes. Now, Drone ending up getting all the way to the northwest corner. He doesn't know what Breastickle knows about the northeast, but he's going to keep going as far as he can.
Yeah, trying to get through this room, and looks like he finally will.
Well, he gets through that one room, but now has to play bomb game and no bomb wall there.
Presented with another staircase. Was that silver arrows for Drone? Very nice.
Drone gets the silvers.
Oh, that staircase goes nowhere where BT wants to go.
Yeah, but there's still some possibilities if this goes into the right quadrant.
Oh, and dying in the same room as RC Drone. I wonder if to the right is the staircase you need for Zelda.
Well, I was waiting for that shutter door to open. Oh, then this is still northwest? Never mind. I was going to say I was waiting for that staircase to open up, but it's not going to be that way.
Oh, this is tight. A tight race. And Darcy doesn't know that it's a 1 HP or 0 HP Ganon.
And he's about to go in to face him.
He's going to be in the same spot. This is amazing.
Oh, the second item. Breastickle finds the red ring.
Which is awesome for him because he's been having some issues with dying. But RC getting the kill, it's whoever finds the staircase or the route first. This is amazing.
Yes, it is. Here we go.
And BT finding a route up to the top that we hadn't had before, which heads over towards the northeast.
Yes, could this be the route we need to go? There are still some rooms he can check.
wisely skipping that one, assuming that Zelda is in fact in her room.
Mm-hmm. And there's only a door to the north. He's got 3 bombs. But now with the red ring, he can take a few more chances with Wizropes and gets a pack of bombs for his efforts. And Breastickle now making it over one more room to the right.
Oh no!
And hello, Wizrobes. But at least this time with what he's got, it's no problem to him.
And that is not the shutter door we are looking for.
Yes, it is.
This could be a staircase to go to the northeast, and who knows where that staircase is. In fact, it looks like it is to get to the top corner.
Wow. Again, who finds this magic staircase is going to be the winner of this race. Breastickle is looking for anything. A fire with a lady in front of it. And now rcdrone gets the hint.
You know, I wonder though, like, sometimes that hint is awesome, right? You know the general location, but sometimes the staircase that you need is so not in that direction.
You need a magical staircase.
And sometimes that hint can just be the worst thing in the world for you because it ends up putting you the completely wrong direction.
That's correct. Breastickle now making his way. He's going to probably try to bomb to the south if he can get there. And it does open up. Drone upping and A-ing. And a shutter door that doesn't open. But a 1 bomb left. And it opens.
It does go.
Breastickle now making it over. There's a key door.
She's got to be up here.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa,
There's the door. It does not open.
He's still got 1 more column that he can go, and he doesn't have any bombs.
Yeah, this is huge. Who can get to her room is going to be the winner. Could that Patcher be holding something? Drone dies.
That could have been Patcher 1 with bombs.
That's correct.
Oh my goodness, this is horrible.
This is intense.
And BT not checking that room to the north.
And Breastickle dying.
Yeah, he dies, and not checking the room to the north isn't a bad play because you assume she's in her room. So unless it's a staircase, it doesn't do you any good to check that. So he needs bombs to get into that column. And RC and BT both do not have bombs right now.
Yes. One big difference right now. BT has a white sword and red ring. Drone, green tunic, wood sword.
And BT's got the idea of where to go. RC's still trying to figure out what direction he needs to get. And you know, we can, the stream can't see it, but we can see his tracker here, and he's gotten nowhere near the northeast yet. And he's using his potion now, and you know, that's going to leave him with only that. He gets over towards the area that he's looking for, but realizes I don't have any bombs.
Yes, he's going to have to kill some orange Wizropes if he wants to have a chance of getting some bombs. Both players are going to have to. And Breastickle killing every red Wizrope he sees, but not getting even a drop, so he doesn't even know where he is on the global counter.
Yeah, and unfortunately for RC, killing orange Wizropes is not something that's easy for him to do because he has a wooden sword still, so it takes him way more times to hit and still has to maneuver around these blue Wizropes.
That's correct, and this is intense. This is insane. Again, this is a kind of a seed here that's coming down to a grand finale. Drone popping off those blue Wizropes. He doesn't have to deal with that room ever again, as long as he doesn't leave the dungeon.
And a fairy for BT is going to extend his life here. Again, we hope that RC finds that wooden sword and bombs and a compass for BT, confirming it is the very top right corner of the dungeon.
Oh my god, that is a major thing at this point.
And he should be able to walk right back over and throw some bombs down and get where he needs to be.
Wizropes guard the compass. No kidding.
Yeah, and RC opting to up A and buy bombs by the location at start, and I can't fault him for it. I mean, he has no other good way to find bombs.
So,
unfortunately, resetting all of those rooms that he cleared.
Oh, a bomb drop here for BT. He's now at a full 8. Gives him more items here, more possibilities. He's just got to make it over to that right-hand column. Now the question is there a magic staircase in play?
One would hope not, but you never know, unfortunately. And RC getting some health, skips the ferry. Yeah, BT just needs to bomb these walls now to find his way to the right. And if it doesn't work, then we are indeed looking for another magical staircase.
This bomb here
Oh,
doesn't
my
work
goodness.
either.
So the question is Zelda in her room?
We're going to find out in just a moment when he gets to the shutter door. And still a possibility he's going to try bombing in. And he
Oh, man! Where's the staircase?
find the magic staircase. Or maybe
This
a bomb wall
is-
to the south.
I think he could go down and bomb to the south still, but this is still anybody's game. It could be this right here, the staircase or this wall.
And
Okay,
Patrick
there's the
has
wall.
a wall. There's ways to go up.
BT just space
tanking.
taken, doesn't care.
Oh, is there a bomb wall here?
Last bomb!
Yes, there is a wall. And the
Cannon was
shutter is
required.
open. Cannon was required. Breasticle's going to win.
BT will finish with an official time of 1:11:08. Last bomb hype.
Oh my
Holy cow, what a
god.
race.
Yeah, puts out the SOS, says his comment.
Holy cow, what a race to have these two players in. And Drone's in the right spot. He's just got to bomb down, and he's got just enough bombs to do it. But if he bombs these walls, he's not going to have enough.
That's correct.
It bombs alike, unfortunately, by not using select swap. So down yet another bomb. He's definitely not got enough bombs now.
Yeah, he's got to think about bombing to the right, but I don't know if he's even going to think that.
he
Oh,
gets a
bomb drop in the room.
like.
A room drop.
And he's in the right spot if he just bombs this wall.
But he doesn't know it right now.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
he's gonna try to
in
kill
this case, I
Patrick.
wouldn't be bombing either. I'd be like, okay, well, I'm going to go up because it could be any of these rooms.
I'm surprised how much he knocked off that Patrick. He didn't just finish the job at this point. He's just trying to find a way in via any way possible. He sees the shutter door there.
Man, what a race! A lot of this might have just come down to the death that Drone took early in 6 right below the Triforce room. I mean, that would have been about this much time difference. That's just crazy.
I agree. This is the kind of situation here where it was a nice race. This was still anybody's race really soon. Drone could be finding the path. He's got one bomb left.
It just gets by the Patra.
He's going to have to be careful, though, because he's down to 1.5 hearts, and anything here can knock out 2. And we've got Breastickle joining us for the post-race interview. How was that 9?
I've had worse.
Yeah, we've got RC try to get through the Wizard room right before.
He's got to be very careful in this room. He's got to be careful. No, he dies!
Spoilers.
Oh no, he gets hit by the blue Wizrobe that phases through the middle block and dies, unfortunately.
And he saw the shutter door open, so he knows that this is the path to get to Zelda. So now it's just a blitz to get to that room. And for the better part of about 10 minutes there, it turned out to be a race whether or not Ganon was required, which it turned out to be, and who could find Zelda first. And you ended up coming out on top, especially once you found the compass.
The compass really did help things out there. What really helped was that clutch bomb force off of part of a landmilla.
Dude, I have no words for how awesome that was.
I need to bomb right and also gain bombs, and all I have is a 6 count and a landmilla. What do I do?
Yeah,
Lay down the
whether
bomb
it
and
was-
get up to the bomb count.
Whether it was intentional or not, we'll just say it was. That was sick.
Oh,
And
it was
then-
definitely intentional. I worked at the count. I had to backwards count all the Wizrobes in that trap staircase room.
Yeah,
Whether or
and
not
then,
I was going to say, whether or not that was intentional or not, somebody clip that and put it into our clip submission page.
Please.
Nice.
And, you know, you got bopped there in that room right before it had one bomb left.
Oh my goodness. And how many bombs did I just need to see placed in the middle of a room?
Quite a few.
Like the Zelda bomb, and the when I got scared by a blue landmine, and it just dropped everything I had in the middle of the room. That was scary.
Quite the race. I mean, you had a white sword. RC does not. And the other thing was RC, once he found the bow, stopped looking for items. He never went back into 3. He went back into 8 much later. He just got Triforces and left. So while he was ahead for the majority of the race, he did have to double back once he found the hint that, or actually there wasn't even, he did buy the hint eventually, but he had 2 locations left and they were the raft spots. So
Yeah,
unfortunately for him, the gamble did not pay off.
Yeah, pretty much he gambled on, once he got the bow and the ladder, that the silvers were going to be in 9 and that he wasn't going to need any other items because he was on go mode. And, well, unfortunately, it turned out to be raft required this seed.
Yeah. So I got out of 6 in a hurry. I was like, well, I don't really want to go back into there. And then I hadn't found 7 yet. I was like, okay, well, I can go through 6 and then check for the item and check for the hint and find out where 7 is. But I'll just check 4 real quick, and 4 happened to be 7. So
Drone doing the Wizrobe dance.
Didn't check 6, and I was like, well, I sure hope Ganon's not required or the silver arrows are at 9, because I'm just going now.
Here comes Drone up the final room with the Wizrobe dance, and he finally makes it. He's going to dot done with an official time of 1:16:32. Let's give it up for both of these runners.
Yeah, fantastic race. And, almost all the amount of time difference, and not quite all of it, but RC was in that room that you cleared in 6 just south of the Triforce very early in the game. And I believe he had 1 blue Wizrobe left and died, and then opted to leave and did not go back until much later, and then spent a lot of time clearing the right-hand half and then left again. So he went back in 3 times for the Triforce.
Did I get the fastest Triforce get of the tournament so far with 134?
You might have.
Yeah, I'm thinking so, based on the fact that I don't think anyone else has had a dungeon right that close to start.
Level 6, the Great Equalizer laws.
In this case, it kind of was. I mean, level 9, for honestly, you were in there about the same amount of time, considering that you got in there before RC did. So the time-wise there, it was pretty much the same.
By the way, I do want to talk about that level 6 real fast, Breastickle. Your thoughts when you got what turned out to be the clock of the night?
Right?
My only thought was, next guy be fairy, next guy be fairy. And you didn't drop one.
And we welcome RC Drone. Good job on what turned out to be a really thrilling race.
Hey, thanks.
Your thoughts once you got the bow and the ladder? You pretty much just went on Triforce and Go mode, and then you pretty much had to stop once you found out I'm running out of locations. Your thoughts at that point?
Yeah, I guess I cleared every location except rafts, so then I knew I had to go back. And then, I don't know, it felt like everything just didn't work. Like, I went back to 4, which only had 3 rooms left, which I left behind because I didn't want to spend keys. Well, there's 1 room I could have just walked into, and that ended up being the item room. But it was kind of like, I didn't want to walk back around, so I just got the Triforce first. And might not have been the room, but it ended up being the room. And 4 wasn't the room, it just gave me the magical key. And then I think I had 3 and 8 left, so I tried to buy hints, and then that was worthless. And then I went to 8, and then the raft was in there. But yeah, that did cost me a bunch of time, but I felt like I was going down the flowchart I wanted to go down, so I'm not too upset with that.
You gave us a pretty good race, and it came down to, at the very, very end, who could find Zelda first, because both of you had Ganon killed, and then we're on the hunt for Zelda at the end.
Yeah, for me, I just ran out of bombs, and I couldn't bomb around to try to get northeast, and then I had to leave and go buy bombs. I don't know how Breastickle Search went.
He had a flashing device to help him.
Oh, that would have been useful.
Yeah, he actually forced a bomb off of an Orange Land Mola on his last bomb which ended up being the ability for him to get over to Zelda.
That's pretty smart.
Honestly, I feel like not even 9. You guys were in 9 about the same amount of time because BT got in there before you did, but that death early in level 6 I think is actually more costly than anything because you were right south of the Triforce room and you almost had it cleared. And it turns out that BT got a clock in that room, so he had a much easier go of it. And then you ended up going back in, I believe, once more and clearing most of the right-hand side and leaving and coming back a third time towards the end. And I think that was probably most of the time gap here.
Yeah, that one room, I didn't want to... I could have gone right after the staircase, but it was a key, and I was running low on keys at that time. So that's why I didn't go left. I had clear to the upper hand on the right side. But yeah, that was a pretty big time sink.
But either way, fantastic race.
18 minutes of level 9 is always fun.
18 minutes of Wizrobe level 9 with shuffled HP. But how about that 0 HP Ganon?
That was a godsend. I had White Sword, and I was like, all right, I guess this is kill Ganon time, because I didn't actually know if it was a force or not. So I was like, well, I stumbled into the Silver Arrows, so I might as well go kill Ganon real quick. And then I just sneezed and stabbed through him, and then shot him real quick.
I kind of regret burning my red potion before the Ganon fight. It didn't occur to me that it could be a 0 HP Ganon. Could have used that potion later on.
Oh, what? That was the worst. Is I just run into level 9, run up, hear Ganon roaring, take a hard right turn, and then I get locked in with Ganon. I can't bomb out, and I'm like, well, I will never have full health in level 9 ever again. And then I up A out of there.
Yeah.
You did find the red ring, which proved to actually pay dividends for you, though.
Well, I get it's insanely sloppy if I'm wearing a red ring.
Yeah.
We noticed that when you were just pretty much face taking everything in the final 3 rooms before Zelda.
Yeah. I was really concerned that I hadn't lost yet. I was like, oh man, rcdrone is I don't know, damn good randomizer player, and I don't know why he's not done, except for the fact that I completely ignored most of level 6 and level 7, so it gave me this buffer. And then just as the minutes poured on, I just started sweating. I was like, well, I better just finish. That's something that's way different about 2-man races. It's just, if you're not first, you're last.
Yeah, for 2-man races, I don't even look at IRC because there's no information I can metagame off the finish. Because if I see a finish, I lost. There's nothing I can really do about that.
Exactly.
Well, either way, both of you guys gave us quite the thrill, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of your races during the course of this tournament. You guys aren't done. It's a 4-round Swisser, so go out there and just do it again next time.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, again, fantastic race by both of you guys. It was extremely fun to cast, and was extremely close the entire time. So well played by both of you.
Hopefully, I don't get the. Oh, sorry. Hopefully, I don't get the loser of AA Saber next round.
Oh my god.
Pretty nasty.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, and GG.
Gee,
Yeah, thanks.
what? You don't want to get the
GG,
loser of
Breastickle.
me and 8gen?
It's Saber, man.
I know. Nobody
I
wants to
think I
get the
might
loser.
want to lose just to avoid Saber.
Yeah, but what if AA beats Saber?
Then I would definitely want to be in the winner's bracket. No offense to AA. Don't take that the wrong way. It's just I've raced Saber so many times, and you're like, dang, I'm doing great. And then it's done, and you're like, I still have 6 Triforces.
Nice dance, by the way, BT.